After more than 3 decades of silence surrounding her marriage to Prime Minister Michael Manley of Jamaica, Beverley Manley has decided to tell her truth. But before we get into the video, please like, share and subscribe. An intimate look at Beverley Manley, the former First Lady of Jamaica. Jamaica recently celebrated its 60th year of independence from Great Britain, and the celebration was nothing short of excellent, showcasing its history and culture. But amidst the celebration, a plethora of young, talented, and independent Jamaicans in areas such as filmmaking, music, sports, and entertainment were highlighted. After binging on all that the talented had to offer, a docu-series rose to the top of the heap entitled Beverley Manley Uncensored, an intimate portrait of a Jamaican icon. Though it was in the works for a while, it was released around the independence celebration. If it had been released any earlier or later, then the incredible life of this phenomenal Caribbean woman of note, who helped shape the political landscape in Jamaica for the majority of its citizens, would have gone unnoticed. So who exactly is Beverley Lois Anderson Manley? Born on November 8, 1941, to a mulatto mother, Esme Pearson Anderson, a dressmaker, who was disowned by her family because she married Eric Hugh Anderson, an Afro-Jamaican, a pastor and a railway station master. Beverley reflected on her difficult childhood, and the very complex relationship she had with her mother, who was often more critical of her than her sisters. Citing that she was the darkest child, and the world wouldn't be kind, so she had to be extremely tough and strict with her. Beverley did not let her mother's raring intimidate her, it only made her stronger, and prepared her for the biggest role of her life. First Lady of Jamaica in the best and worst of times in the history of the country. Beverley was a very independent young woman, who studied film in the UK, where she experienced racism. She persevered and returned to her beloved Jamaica in the 60s, where she eventually got a job in broadcasting at a local radio station. Beverley was not only a broadcaster, but a model and an actress, and appeared in several productions that were filmed in Jamaica, like The Harder They Come with Jimmy Cliff.
You know, anybody who knows Bev knows she's statuesque. I mean, she's very tall and she's stunning.
During this time, Beverley was very conscious and took advantage of her position by raising the black female voice in her broadcast, along with the Afro-centric way of dressing, and the afro she sported at the time, would help launch several social justice movements.
The Jamaican woman now has a sense of self, which she did not have before. And by this I mean just a pride and a dignity, just a feeling that here am I, a Jamaican woman, and I'm equal.
While working at the radio station, she met her future husband, Michael Manley. Her initial thoughts about him were that he was very boring because of the way he delivered his weekly radio address. She told him about it, and he asked for her suggestion. She tutored him on voice modulation, which he immediately mastered. Manley was single at the time, and asked Beverley out, which she accepted reluctantly, and the rest is history. They dated for 2 years secretly because Manley had an upcoming election and did not want the news of him marrying an Afro-Jamaican spreading and influencing the election. They were married in 1972 amidst secrecy because of the couple's class and color differences, and also their political party was wary of Manley's previous 3 marriages. Even though Manley was known as an eternal playboy, the couple had a deep abiding love for each other and Jamaica. They pushed through all of the hate and resentment, and by 1974, daughter Natasha was born and son David in 1980. Beverley's tenure as the First Lady of Jamaica was marred with lots of criticism and loathing because she was a feminist of Afro descent, who wanted to bring about changes for the masses and the children of the former slaves. Her influence was systemic. She initiated an opportunity for the education of many Jamaican children. She was also one of the founders of the Jamaica House Basic School, which is still up and running today. She initiated the Maternity Leave Act, which grants women 12 weeks of paid leave, and a host of other changes, that most Jamaicans living on the island are enjoying today. Her tenure as First Lady of Jamaica was marred with lots of criticism and loathing. Life was far from peaches and cream for the former First Lady. She reflects about the dangerous elections of 1978, where Bob Marley stepped in, and had political rivals Michael Manley and Edward Seaga hold hands in unity. She wasn't shy about her knowledge of the event when she said that the gesture was only symbolic, and the hoarding of food was real for many. Ordinary Jamaicans couldn't purchase food items at their local supermarket, because the opposing political party had influenced the hoarding of food items. This led up to election violence, which threw the country into chaos. Life had become even more difficult, and the country experienced a mass exodus of many Jamaicans. Manley lost the election, and one would think that the violence would have stopped there. However, it didn't, and it became very difficult for the Manleys, who were being threatened by the supporters of the new reigning party. This prompted Manley's 16-year-old daughter Natasha to leave Jamaica and never to return, and later her brother David followed. Beverley and Michael Manley divorced in 1993 at the behest of Beverley. She cited that cheating did not ruin her marriage, but that Manley had shifted his political ideology, and she could no longer be with him. In 2012, Beverley married Dr. D.K. Duncan, another political heavyweight on the Jamaican political landscape. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. One love.